What's up, everybody? Welcome to the View from Jamestown podcast edition. This is episode 66. This is the January 2022 episode. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022.
Happy New Year, Benny.
Happy New Year.
It's also officially year 4 of the podcast. Fun fact.
Wow.
Our first episode was March of 2018, so this is the fourth year. Coming up on the 4-year anniversary. It's crazy.
Feels like we just started 4 months ago. Still not used to it.
Every time we post one, for some reason, like my SoundCloud goes all the way to the top, and it has like us with the little conference table. I think the first one was just me, you, and Rob, and like George sitting on the other end of the table. It was we had quite the setup.
Quite the evolution.
I know.
Now we have this pro setup.
Pro.
We're pro now.
Do you watch the old episodes?
I haven't, but
I can't.
I don't even watch the new ones. Full disclosure, I don't ever like actually stream them once we're done with them.
I think it's probably a good thing to watch them so we can get better at what we're doing. But I
listen to them sometimes.
Like watch game. We'll watch game film. Watch game film. Yeah, we'll put it on the TV in the conference room. No, but it's January 2022. Happy New Year. I figured starting off the year right. If anyone hasn't streamed any of the prior episodes, it might be good to do a little introduction on each other. I'm going to go left to right and start with Javi. If you want to give your name, title, tenure with TCC,
wow,
brief responsibilities.
Perfect.
Little introduction.
My name is Javier Fernandez. I've been with the company 12 years. I'm not sure about, I think 12 or 13, but let's go with 12. I handle Latin American markets and some purchasing. We all do purchasing, but we're a very flat organization. But I handle Mexico and down south. We have offices in Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico City, and also in China. And it has been a fun ride working at TCC, and I enjoy it every day at it. So that's what I do.
Hey guys, I'm Nicole Greenberg, Inside Sales Manager. I primarily oversee our packaged plasticizer product line. I'm involved in a lot of our marketing and CRM, ERP platforms. And I don't know why I'm like tripping up on this.
A little bit of everything.
Wear a lot of hats.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it.
We all do wear a lot of hats. So.
Yeah, when you think about it, I don't know, we just kind of do so much on a daily basis.
Sales, purchasing, systems, marketing, hiring.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of do anything that you want. So every day is different. So to think about, what do I actually do?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And as Javi said, we're a flat organization. So, coming up with a title and kind of a description of exactly,
You kind of just do what needs to get done.
Yeah, exactly. And
what makes the most money for the company, and then you start your day that way. I think that's the way. At least that's how I do it.
Yeah, and like the world's your oyster. So,
exactly.
You just kind of go with it.
AJP?
So I'm AJ Petrarca, Vice President of Sales and Marketing. I've been with TCC for 14 years now. It's always weird. Seems like I just started, but I've been with the company for 14 years. And I manage a basket of products that includes urea, HMD, dicyandiamide, some other polymer additives and things like that. But like everyone else at this table, wear a lot of hats and just, do what needs to be done.
I feel like you said, like when I started, you had been here 9 or 10 years. And I remember at the time, you were like, I've been here like 10 years. And like, that sounded like a long time. Like you've always said it the same way. And now it's 14 years. Like, still feels like a long time.
Yeah. Even when you said we've been doing this podcast for 4 years, I was like, what? Where did 4 years go? It's like
crazy.
we just started, but time flies.
So this is obviously the normal crew. If you've been following along the prior episodes, with one missing person, obviously TCC President Rob Roach, typically involved in the podcast. He's taking some time off, so not here this morning. So we'll make Rob do a little intro on himself for the next episode. We'll surprise him with that tidbit.
We love surprises.
Getting right into it. Obviously, into January, I think we're seeing a lot of the same of what we saw at the end of last year. New year, same supply challenges seems to kind of be the general feeling. A lot of issues with production still, supply chain and trucking and logistics remains a big concern. I know everyone at this table handles a lot with various imports, exports, dealing with ocean freight, trying to get material through the ports. Nicole can speak specifically to getting stuff packed out and totes and drums. That's been a fun aspect. So, supply chains and logistics really seems to be a big overarching concern, as I'm sure everyone can attest to here.
Well, I mean, on a packaged front, I think it's been a fun aspect, like you mentioned, just to add to our business portfolio, because it's kind of allowed us to, obviously broaden our horizons with current customers and new prospects. So I think it's definitely been a beneficial part to add to the business.
And you've seen the slow, I guess, trickle down or accumulation of how difficult it's been to get totes and drums. I mean, when we started, it was just trying to get material to the packaging site to fill the drums. Now we're having a tough time getting totes and drums there. That adds a whole nother new fun supply challenge to it.
Exactly. Well, and I mean, obviously both, you've got to get material and the empty totes and drums there at the same time. It doesn't do you any good to have one or the other just sitting around waiting for, the next best thing. So there's a couple of moving parts, but I think we've got it pretty nailed down after kind of dabbling in it the past year and a half. So it's a pretty smooth operation.
Yeah. Thinking about imports and exports, obviously we do a bunch with China. So we're closely monitoring the shipping situation in China. Obviously they're coming into their spring holiday. We also have the Olympics coming up in February. So I believe we're already being told what new shipments are end of February, early March at this point. We're talking 6-8 weeks just to get stuff shipped out of China.
Yeah, and for the most part, ocean freight is increasing, but it doesn't seem like it's as bad as people were expecting it to be yet. Yeah. There were kind of some people predicting like no shipments were going to be getting out of China at all this time of year. But they're still shipping, but it is slow, and it should remain slow until after the Olympics at least. But it does seem like raw material prices, generally speaking, are starting to come off a little bit in China. But with the increasing ocean freight, things are pretty flat. As from our point of view here in the U.S., but we'll see where things go from here.
So the ocean freight was pretty high last spring, started to come down towards the end of the year, and then now we're starting to see it trickle back up a little bit.
Yeah, starting to trickle back up a little bit, just with the vessel tightness. They're able, the shipping lines are able to get higher prices. Yep. Just supply and demand like anything else.
Yeah. Javi, what about imports, exports from other parts of the world? How's things been running?
Delays.
Yeah.
That's been the name of the game. But I mean, everyone's living with it. Everyone's giving more lead time, so that's been helping us, helping our customer service experts here at the office, and it's just everyone's helping each other. And our logistics folks have been great, getting creative, either repackaging to small to like Nicole said, going intermodal, getting creative is the way to do it.
And when you say delays, is it getting material onto a vessel? Is it the vessel itself? Is it when it gets to the U.S. trying to get material through?
All of the above. Yeah. All of the above. Yeah, but intermodal has been. We have been using intermodal. We just put it into a train and then going for a small 500 miles or more. AJ, would you
generally
say?
Speaking, yeah.
Yeah, that's when it makes sense. We have been doing that because we cannot get any trucks or any drivers that want to do that lane. They'd rather stay around in the 300-mile radius.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually got some pretty competitive long-distance intermodal rates recently, too, so that's certainly been an interesting avenue to take a look at. Obviously, a little bit longer of a lead time, takes a little bit longer, but something to consider.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially for long hauls. And that's obviously subject to the railroad staying open.
Yes.
As I know, we just put out, I think it's on our website currently, or if not, it will be. I know we're monitoring some potential strike situations, I believe strictly in Canada. Was it Canadian Railroad, or was it in the U.S. too?
I saw something on that. I think it was predominantly Canada.
Yeah. That's I think one of the 2 or 3 major railroads considering a strike coming up in February, which will negatively impact the intermodal rail options. So something we're keeping a close eye on. It's something
just what we need.
Just what we need. Add it to the pile.
Yep, let's kick off 2022 and woohoo.
So if you are managing rail or intermodal shipments, good time to stay in close contact with your supply chain folks to keep an eye on that. Something we're keeping a close eye on here. When you can get product and you can get materials, obviously one of the leading factors to keeping pricing a bit high these days is energy prices. So we're seeing relatively high crude oil prices. I think it's somewhere in the $85, $86 range in the States today. Couple of our core products are produced in Europe. So we're obviously closely following natural gas prices in Europe. And I believe something that's remained a bit high and something that we're, I guess, unfortunately kind of suffering from with some of that high energy pricing causing products to be higher priced here in the States for us.
Yeah, Russia's been controlling natural gas supply to Europe, and with the unrest over there and what's going on with the Russians and the Ukrainians, it's causing prices to stay high on natural gas. So anything that's derived from natural gas, urea, adipic to some respect, a lot of things are directly or indirectly tied to natural gas. And in the past, you'd never really thought about it because natural gas was never this volatile, but now
a little
it's
bit of
expensive
seasonality
and-
when it's cold and whatnot. But
Yeah,
other
a
than
little
that,
bit, but something like a Dipic, like it's not even enough of the formula to even make a difference
Right.
normally. But right now, it's something that's actually turning into pennies per pound
Yeah.
price differences. So it's something we're gonna keep paying attention to.
And even if the products you're buying aren't produced in Europe or directly affected by natural gas, say it's a competitive product produced in the States, you might see producers keeping pricing high just because they know that's what's happening in the market. So, even if it's not produced in Europe per se, it's something that they may be taking advantage of the higher prices too.
Yeah, I mean, there's producers, ammonia producers in Europe that are just shutting down or cutting production by 50%. So it's going to affect the overall supply-demand balance for sure.
Crazy. Yeah, so we touched on a little bit with the shipping and logistics update, obviously talking about logistics and ocean freight coming up from Latin America, from some of our different producing partners. But what's the general feeling with Mexico and Latin America with production? How's the COVID situation? What's the feeling you're getting from your Latin American contacts?
Demand's strong. Plants are running hard.
How's production?
The production, there are other turnarounds coming up soon, so we better start planning accordingly. We have been scheduling our shipments accordingly before and after the turnarounds.
Like overdue maintenance with the plants?
Maintenance, mainly scheduled maintenance for February and March.
Yep.
We bring stuff from Colombia, from Mexico, from Chile, so we have to be aware and plan accordingly.
So overall demand has been strong. You've seen January,
demand is
good
strong.
month.
Our sales are strong, and what is being new, we have been exporting a lot from the U.S. down south due to better lead times and better economics.
And we didn't talk about it much, but obviously the China's tariffs are still in effect in the States. So I know you're seeing a lot more competition from China.
Yeah, you see a lot of Chinese imports in Latin America. It's a normal market for them.
Yep.
The lead times are not bad, are 20-25 days to the Pacific coast, and and also you see Indian, Turkish, European. So you see a lot of good mix. The Latin Americans customers are used to imports. They're used to the lead times. They're used to that. So it's not new for us.
We were just talking the other day about how short the transit time is from a Latin American supplier to the U.S. Would you say it was like 10 days, 9 days?
Yeah, Houston,
when you can get a vessel?
Yeah, when you get a vessel, because that's as short as a vessel. That's not the case. It's the same case for Latin America. But you can get from Cartagena to Houston in 7 days, from Cartagena to New York in 11 days, and sometimes you cannot do intermodal in the U.S. in that time.
Right.
Yeah, so
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
So anyone that needs Latin American supply,
WhatsApp me.
You know your WhatsApp.
My WhatsApp is always busy.
I like it. Price updates and trends coming to January. Obviously, we're seeing crude oil, natural gas continuing to be high. Seems like as well as supply might be running, where I think demand is still outpacing supply in the States. So we are seeing some strong pricing for the most part. Seems like pricing on the spot market at least has been flat to maybe a little bit higher for the majority of what we've been selling.
Yeah, I'd say, a lot of things are high priced to begin with, and I think a lot of things rolled over into January, with the exception of some, outliers. But a lot of things are flat to up a little bit, I'd say.
Yeah.
Really big picture, generally speaking.
But demand keeps strong. It seems like the next 6 months going to be, I hope, I have the crystal ball, but
I wish I had one.
I wish I had one.
Yeah.
I don't have it either.
The predictions were on the last episode. This isn't the prediction episode.
Yeah, that's true. But I think we have a strong 6 months, strong first half of the year.
Yeah, I saw demand wane a little bit in December. Obviously, there's just a usual holiday kind of lag, but I think it's kicked in so far this month, and it seems like it's going to continue that way.
Yeah, I know we've been talking about cars a lot the last week, and you just got a new car. We got some new cars on order. It's been interesting talking to our car dealerships and what they're seeing. Expecting automobiles to be tight for the next year, well into 2023. Pretty much only able to get a new car if it's custom ordered with your name on it. Dealers aren't getting cars just to sit in the lot.
What was that fun fact about the chips that?
Oh, the chip shortage.
The chip shortage.
How many, courtesy of Tom Duraco, Paul Bailey's.
The plug. Thank you for the plug.
Sponsored by. We were talking about so we've all heard about the chip shortage, and it's been in the news on, the chip shortage out of China and Asia and how that all affects things. So we guessed how many chips you think are on a modern, he used a pickup truck. I don't think it matters, but a modern car. I think I said 25. You remember what you guys guessed?
I think I was like maybe 27 for something ridiculously low in comparison.
What'd you say?
I said like 20, 30. I don't remember.
I guess 2000.
You did not.
Now that's your crystal ball.
It's like watching a football game on replay and calling what's going to happen. The average new car has 1,400 chips in it, up to something like 3,000 for like a Mercedes or one of these cars that has a lot more features and computers and stuff like that. But way more than I think any of us would have assumed.
Well, but I think it's wild to see that connection between really you get that knowledge of, okay, why the shortage is how it is. Because, I mean, I was thinking, it's a couple chips. Big deal.
How big could a chip be? Like, how hard is it to ship those chips?
Really, and then when you say it on that scale, it makes you look and say, oh, wow, okay, it's a lot bigger than, I think any of us really could have imagined before.
That sounds like a picket sign. Ship those chips.
Just put a bunch in an envelope and send them over. All right, solved.
And another fun fact that he said that he had no cars. Like he said, usually he has like 300 cars in the lot, and he's down to 40.
It's crazy.
And everything, every car it's there, it's gone.
Yeah. So
and he doesn't expect that to come back. He expects it to stay that way, and it to shift to just like everything's going to be custom ordered going forward. He doesn't see him returning to the point where they'll have like a pile of inventory just sitting on the lot, So be curious to see how that plays out, because that's going to make the whole car buying experience vastly different.
Well, I've never seen so many ads on TV for companies promoting, hey, come online and custom build a car. Usually you're like, oh, here's the deal on this car, go to your local dealer and buy it. Now it's like, come custom order one because that's the only way you're getting one. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to see that shift.
Yep.
But it's important to us. Obviously, the chip shortage is something that's going to continue to be a factor. A lot of what we sell and what a lot of our customers are downstream involved in is obviously the automobile market. So paints and coatings, the fake leathers for the insides of linings and seats and things like that. So a big part of our business ends up in automobiles. So the fact that that's been such a tight market, they're not producing like they once were, and that's expected to last for a little while is certainly I think, interesting fact and something that's going to be a big trend for this year. As we're looking at the automotive segment, it's going to be interesting.
For sure.
So we'll keep an eye on what's going to happen here for the first quarter. I think the overall consensus is that there's not too much price support for a lot of things in the near future. Seems like pricing will remain at these levels.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand continues to be a big
and
piece
people
of
are happy to, when they get stuff, the people are very happy to get stuff.
Yeah. Featured products, new products, seasonal products. We're coming right into the heart of dicey demand season, right? That's kind of upon us here.
Yeah. Our seasonal demand has started to kick in for the spring planting season. Dicyandiamide, urea, all the crop nutrition products are starting to kick in, even though it's currently snowing outside right now. People are formulating and blending for their spring planting season. Yeah. Methanol right now, obviously with the snow, up in the northeast, we have a high windshield wash demand with any kind of weather like this. So glycols as well for antifreeze. So just the usual seasonal products are starting to kick in now.
Bunch of big, strong products for us. Maybe dicey's a little bit tighter these days, but I know urea's been strong, methanol's been strong, pretty good glycol availability. So all things we're happy to talk about.
Yep.
In our newly minted HMD product manager, I know you had the little HMD plug in the beginning of that. So that's been a new product for TCC and something you're taking over managing here in 2022.
Yeah, I've got big shoes to fill, taking over product management responsibilities from our colleague Ray Altenberger. But I'm up for the task, looking forward to it.
Yeah, something I hope we can talk about more in the near future. I know our producing partner Invista is always up at the office for meetings and things like that. So hope we can get a joint episode sometime soon with you and Ray and the Invista guys. Be good to talk more in depth about the adipic markets and HMD markets, but new product for us and something we're very excited about.
Very excited.
Nicole, how do we feel about trade shows for the spring?
So I love this topic. It's one of my favorites. So trade shows look pretty strong. We have a couple in the pipeline, actually quite a few. In comparison to last year even. So we've got Chemicals America Fort Worth coming up end of February, and we've got a handful of TCC guys going to that. I think all of you are going, right?
All of us.
Yeah, except for me.
Javier coming?
Oh,
Yeah.
to where?
To
Fort
Chemicals
Worth?
America, Fort Worth.
Oh, no, I'm not
No,
going to that
you're
one.
not going to that one?
No, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to stay in Texas.
But there will be a good group of us going there. We've got a booth. So yeah, we're looking forward to everyone coming down to visit us. We have AFPM in March, which we are super excited about, down in San Antonio again. We were just there in October. So the fact that it's 6 months out is wild, but we're looking forward to reconnecting with everyone there again. And, we've got meetings. I think it's TCC events at thechemco.com to schedule a meeting.
Yep.
So please send an email our way if you would like. We've got a golf outing on that Saturday. I believe that's March 26th, 27th? 26th. And then the cocktail party at Roost Chris on Sunday, March 27th. So a lot of good things in the pipeline there. We're looking forward to meeting with everyone. And
As if it wasn't hard enough to plan one AFPM for the first time, we're gonna make you do two in a 6 month period.
Back
hey,
to
you
back.
know what? I'm up for the challenge. And like I said, I've got some gray hairs coming in. So it's definitely, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And then we have the coding show in Indianapolis coming up early April. So we've got a great crew going down to that. We actually have, we're going to be exhibiting. We've got a booth there. And, we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, March and April are going to be 2 crazy months. Some of our biggest shows, the Chemicals America is always a fun one. AFPM always a very busy week, and then back to the coding show for the every 2 years, right? Coding shows every 2 years, NPs every 3 years.
Correct. Yep.
So it's going to be a busy 8 weeks.
Oh, well, I mean, and we have a packed schedule pretty much through September, October.
Yeah.
I was looking at it the other day, and I mean, there's not 1 month that there's not at least one, if not more, shows, events, conferences that we're going to be attending. So we're looking forward to a robust trade show, conference, and event season in 2022.
Robust. I like that, word. And kind of a normal trade show schedule, which is nice too. Hopefully, barring COVID canceling anything or things like that, we're back to what will hopefully be a normal, quote unquote, trade show season with the Chemicals America in February, AFPM in March. We'll have the other Chemicals America in June. And then some of the smaller shows, the Southwestern Fertilizer Show, the Methanol Forum. So fingers crossed we have a somewhat normal semblance of a trade show season, and I'm excited to get back out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe Javi will get back on a plane, leave the country sometime here soon.
Yeah, it has been a while. I haven't flown. My miles are not growing. Yeah,
You got to get those points.
I need those points. But yeah, I haven't traveled since March of last year. So it's been a while. I used to go to Asia, Europe, Mexico, like pretty often. Colombia, no, nothing.
I wonder if we can buy like a first class seat from an American plane and like put it in your living room.
Just to break it in.
Just to break it in.
Just to feel like you're at home, you know?
Yeah, so I haven't traveled, so yeah, so we'll see. We'll
Excited
see.
to get back to Asia, to Europe, to Latin America.
Yeah, there are good shows, the APIC, the APLA,
K show coming up this year.
K
Hopefully
show. So
When is K show?
October.
October.
That was a great show. We had a booth. We had at the U.S. Pavilion. They serve beer starting at 10 a.m.
All right, sign me up.
Sign me up. It was amazing. Yeah, it was a good show. We met new suppliers that we are currently doing business until today. So I mean, we make great contacts, and it's huge. It's a week. It's a week. The pavilions are, I think, like 16 pavilions, and the chemicals are just 2 pavilions. And
Wow.
there's machinery, the rest. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Crazy.
It's a crazy show.
And I think we've really seen the value of all the trade shows we've done over the past 10, 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
As COVID's hit. I mean, all these contacts that you knew, people that you knew supplied a product, but maybe it's not normally competitive or the lead time's too long or whatever. All of a sudden, if the U.S. producers are down or this happened or that happened, all of a sudden you play on those contacts and
Yeah.
it kind of proved their value, even though you may go to K show and not leave without a single PO or a single new supplier actively, but all of a sudden 18 months later, you're like, oh yeah, I met that guy.
I met the guy. Yeah,
Pays off.
I have a contact there. Yeah, it works. It pays off really.
Yeah.
And I think, too, the fact that we haven't had that in-person interaction as much as in the past, that's going to make it that much more important, this year going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but definitely looking forward to get out there and meet my friends
Yes.
in the industry.
Yes. Wrapping things up. I think it was a good episode. Our first ever episode without our fearless leader, TCC President Rob Roach. But I think it was a good episode. Kind of off the cuff a little bit, but made it work.
A lot of laughs. We had some fun.
A lot of
Yeah.
laughs, a lot of sound effects. Georgie, what do you got over there?
What do you got? Great.
But yeah, wrapping things up, we have a upcoming regulatory episode. We're going to be filming that, I believe, next week. So that'll be in the pipeline here sometime in the next couple weeks with our very own Karen Benson and Caitlin Hagan talking about upcoming regulatory trends, what they're following, things that are impacting TCC, some of these sort of buzzwords, but things that are making a big impact in the industry, like sustainability and our internal sustainability program. So excited to have them on and talk about what they've been working on. And then we're also working on a joint episode with one of our producing partners, Avonic. We're going to have sort of a myths and truths / update on the regulatory environment with phthalates, obviously DINP and Elator-CH, our DINCH offset, two big products that we supply with them in the U.S. So hopefully we get that recorded in the next couple weeks and get that out here sometime this spring. So looking forward to getting that episode out there as well. So some fun episodes coming up. I know we're also talking about things like if we can record podcasts live at either the coding show or AFPM. So trying to do some fun things here this year with the podcast. So excited to see what's happening.
Can this travel easy? All this?
Depends on your definition of easy, but it's doable.
Well, they're giving the thumbs up, so I mean,
yeah, guys,
that would be awesome. It's
that'd be cool. That'd be
cool
to do this at the shows, like
it's
just set up and just.
I mean, it's almost like
we'll just turn our whole booth into a podcast studio.
Yeah, like the pregame, before the football and all that. Why not? Yeah. Why not do a podcast?
If it travels easy, why not? I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, people are always looking for different things. People looking for the cornhole or. You can only win so many iPads, on the business card thing.
Yeah.
I think doing things different gets people's attention, and it's a good gets our name out there.
We have the Yeti giveaway that we didn't give away in the last coding show.
That's right.
Oh, some good stuff in the
business card in
Yeah, come see us if you want to win a Yeti in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but
you know what would be cool too is if we drew the winner on the podcast at the show.
Got to listen to the podcast to see if you won.
All right. I mean, hey, there you go.
That's why she gets paid the big bucks, Beautiful. I love it. No, but thank you guys for listening. Really appreciate it. It was a great episode. A lot going on. A lot that we're paying attention to for the spring. I think there'll be a lot of good conversations around a lot of this stuff at the coding show at AFPM. So appreciate you listening. Appreciate you streaming, following along, either the video format, the audio format. We've also got our regular email newsletter, The View from Jamestown. So a lot of the same content that comes out in the podcast is also in that email. So hope you're following along. Appreciate you listening. And we'll catch you in February. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for streaming the View from Jamestown podcast edition.
Like and subscribe for more.